Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is ASA Studio with another retouching tutorial in Photoshop. Okay, so let's say you have an image like this with less saturation, less dynamic range, and let's say overexposed. How would you edit these? Okay, so I'm going to show you the right tools to use and the workflow or step-by-step process you can use to get the image to looking great. Okay, so let's get started. But before that, I want you to like and share. If you like our videos, like them, share them, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, it helps the channel a lot. Okay, so let's dive right into the tutorial. First of all, what should we adjust in? If I zoom in, we are going to see so many blemishes and the image looks a little bit flat. And take note of the top here, you can see some makeup of which we can really get hold of. All right, so now sometimes I do take it to camera raw filter, but I'm just going to use one tool, which is a solid color adjustment. Click OK, create that one, turn it off, and then it functions like a white balance tool. This just gives it the right color profile. Let's take for instance, double click on it to open it up and select the eyes, which is supposed to be white. You will see what is going to happen right now when we do that. So it's okay, turn it back on and change the blending mode to divide. Okay, so now open it up and take it all the way up. All right, so now see the way it transformed the image from this white fluorescent kind of look or tint, and you just remove the tint on the image and gives it this rich little yellow color. All right, so now we could go ahead and grab the hue and saturation adjustment and clip it to the one below, and then we can mess around with the saturation. The higher you go, the more saturated; the lesser you go, the less saturated. So it's going to be like the image before, but when we take it forward, it's just going to retain what we have. Okay, so now since it's too bright, we could bring it down and bring it up, and it's just going to affect the image. All right, so I'm going to leave it here, and there we go. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to group these two together, and which is the first step, and then I'm going to grab the exposure. Now what we're doing, we're working on the lightning, the exposure, and the dynamic range. Okay, so I'm going to increase the gamma till I get some definition. Yeah, so we have it like this. So just take a look at before and then the after. Just gives it a little depth of field. Okay, so I can take it all the way up and we have it, but this is too much, so let's leave it somewhere around here. And now you can go ahead again and create another hue and saturation and adjust whatever you want to adjust. But I'm going to stop here. I'm going to drag this inside the group, and there we have it. So this is the first thing you need to do: the balance, the exposure, get the right color profile. And the following thing you need to do now is to balance the color. So let's see. Now we have the yellow, and here we have red. We just have different color, of which that's how the natural skin function. But let's say you want to blend all the colors together. For us to do that, we're going to work on the color with the hue and saturation adjustment layer, and I'm going to grab this hand tool and let's pick this color. Just pick any color at first and increase the hue, and this is going to tell you if there are color variations in the image. Okay, so now this is what we have, and it's telling you that no, there is no color variation, just little, of which you can see some places are light, some places are blue. Okay, so let's turn it back off, and now from the image we're going to focus more on this side, yeah, the red part. Okay, so turn it back on and then increase the slider till we select just that place alone, so something like this, and let's zoom out. So we have that selection, and now I'm going to make this 0 and let's increase till we have that. Okay, so now we have the same color. If that's too much, you can take it backwards a bit, and that will balance the color, the whole color. And I'm going to grab the brush tool and make sure the foreground color is black because the mask is white, and I'm going to paint over the lips to bring back what we have. And let's remove it from the eyes as well. Okay, so you can bring it back on the cheek if you want to get some blushing. So let's just give it some little blush like that. Okay, so now we have it like this, and now the next thing we need to do is to get the right saturation for it. So for that, I'm going to grab the hue and saturation again, and notice if the skin is like this, I guess the middle part of the skin, which is all this part, and less saturated compared to the down part of the cheek right here. So go to filter, select and color range. So it's going to open up the color range section, and I'm going to select, let's select somewhere here, hold down shift and keep selecting, select where that are less saturated. So we're going to increase the fuzziness a bit, and it's okay. And it's going to create a max on the hue and saturation, and now you can increase the saturation a bit, just that, and even you can even change the hue. So let's leave it at 0 and bring this down, and let's take this up a bit. Okay, so but if you don't find that helpful, let's see, it's helpful. Okay, so before and after, so that we fix a little bit of saturation, and there we go. All right, so now I'm going to create a stem visible layer. Ctrl Shift Alt and E to create a stem visible layer for that. And the next thing we're going to do is to do some frequency separation. All right, so quick dodging and a quick frequency separation. So we have a before, and then we have a after, before and after. So you can go ahead, I can go ahead and blend it the more, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'll just be fast with it. So after you've done that, we're going to remove the blemishes using the clone stamp tool, and I'm also going to quickly do this. So hold down Alt and start, covering up where we don't need. So something like this, and this, and this, and this. I turned off the align because I like turning off this align, because it just helped me a lot to be a lot more faster. So instead of worrying about when I slide it up, but there are times I turn it on. Okay, let's say this is what we have. I still have small pimples just right here, so something like this. Okay, and somewhere here you can see all this line, so you can do that for that, and this one as well. So that's where you need to use the align tool at times. Okay, so let's say we are good with this, and what we're gonna do next is to go to the camera raw filter. So click Ctrl Shift and here to create the stem visible layer. Go to filter, camera raw filter, and under the camera raw filter, go to the tab, grab these two, and let's pick on the white again, and it's going to give us something more natural. Let's undo that and do it again. So let's keep finding the sweet spot for it. I'm going to click here and let's adjust. Alright, so this should be fine, and now I can increase the highlight and bring down the whites. Maybe let's see about the blacks and the shadows, just to create some depth, give you some texture. Close that, open up the color mixer, and then I'm going to go to the hue section. The red, I'm going to make it more red for the lips, and the orange, let's see, should we make it a little bit red or yellow? I guess we should make it red just to preserve the integrity of the image, and go for saturation, increase the orange, and we have this. Let's take it up a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Alright, so increase this, and we have no blues. Let's just take this up, and we're done. So let's go to calibration. We can take this forward, and let's see about the blues. Okay, so let's give it to, let's leave it at 0 and make this forward, not too much. Alright, so now let's see the greens. I focus my eyes more on the image, and we have it before and then the after, and hit OK. And let's see what we have, and boom, this is what we get. So I'm going to turn off this, and now we can do our dodging and burning. Alright, so I created two curve layer 1 up and one down. Okay, and I inverted the mask. I'm going to grab the brush tool and decrease the flow to there about 15% and make the brush low. And I'm going to start with this curve and I'll start painting to trace it like this, and I'll keep on doing that, make it smaller and define some places like the eyebrow, and also I'm going to define this side. So let me zoom out, and also this part, and I'm just going to draw some outline here, the nose and inside the lips. Okay, so let's make some. Alright, so I'm going to draw one here and draw one here. I'm going to go ahead on this one and draw a straight line on the middle. Oh sorry, I think I'm using the wrong. So for that, and let's see, and also this side, also this side on top of the eyes, so we can barely see it but it's there, you can see. So now is to group the two together, and we can decrease the opacity, and there we go. So let's turn it off and on. It's there but you will notice that. So lastly, color grade, open up a color balance, and I'm gonna add some, let's start from the highlights and let's add some red and maybe some blues. Let's take this, let's make this 0. Let's go to the midtones and let's see with some yellow, and let's see with some red to get the natural feel. Magenta, go to shadows and make it cool. Let's make it cooler. I don't want to have the color grading feel, so +2. I'm gonna leave this right here and leave this right here. So let's see what we have for before and after. Okay, I'm gonna create stamp visible layer and let's see where we've been coming from. So we went from year to year, from year to year. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. This is just a quick way of editing.